Right.
I'm
And
not ready for this.
we are like, I'm not ready at all.
I'm not ready, man.
Oh,
Mentally, and just not
I
there.
think I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to, is it episode 10? No.
Who's counting?
I am.
I don't even know, man.
I am.
Not
Let me
me.
check. Let me check Anchor, and Anchor is where you can find this podcast. No, actually, you find it on Spotify because Anchor now owns Spotify, or Spotify owns Anchor. But that's where we upload episodes each and every week, which is doing really well, actually. Very surprising. I just want to check. Sorry for the weird bump in the road.
That's what we do, man. We're all about bumps in the road
We
here
bump,
on the VR CruCast.
So we've
Sure.
got 12,283 plays.
Oh, yeah.
And why didn't I write the? Hold on, do I have to click on it? Oh, bloody hell. Doesn't tell me on here. That's so annoying. I have to actually go on
Yeah, it is
Spotify.
annoying.
I have to actually go on Spotify. I do apologize. I think we're on episode 9 or 10. Which is so cool. How you doing? Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat's got to know. How many episodes are we on?
Yeah, who's
Bluebell. Bluebell always knows.
Bluebell.
Who's
That's
hardcore
true.
VR CruCast?
That's it.
For the season?
Maybe Pete Neon knows. I don't know. He just looks like it's got a name like he should know.
Do you say Pete Neon?
Pete Neon.
That's a really cool name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Diggity band.
And he's a
That's
channel
cool
member.
name.
He's a channel member.
He is.
Oh.
Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, friends. Welcome. Wes, did wife let you do this today?
Yeah, she was cool with it, man. She's a lot more forgiving now that I'm working from home and not gone every night. So she was down.
That is absolutely fantastic. So let me get some introductions out of the way. I don't know if you all need it, but we'll do it anyway. I've only had 4 hours sleep, so I don't know how much talking I'm going to do because it is risky when I haven't had much sleep. But first of all, I'm going to welcome Eric from QTC Gamer. How you doing, dude?
What's going on? I never get to go first. This is
I
awesome.
know, I know.
I got bumped up.
I'm
I
so
like it better when Eric is last.
Yeah.
Wait a
Keep
minute.
it
Hold on,
alive.
Alex. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, I'm doing good, man. It's I had an awesome weekend. I very rarely do this, but I just played VR this weekend for me, man. I just went in and said, screw everything else. I did not stream live. I didn't do anything I was supposed to do. I was supposed to like review headsets. I had games I was supposed to review, and I said, fuck it all. I just want to play VR and just do it for me and have fun. I didn't even want to hit the stream button, which I could have done easily, but you know what? I'm just like, I just want to do it for me. And I went in and played stuff that I wanted to play, and I had a blast with people I wanted to play with. And that's what it's all about, man. Take the time, go play.
Yeah, absolutely.
True.
It's so true. It's so
Yeah.
true. It's something you get wrapped up in, especially in content creation. You end up just doing it because you're supposed to be doing it instead of doing it because you want to do it. Well said, Eric. Well said. Next up, we've got, sadly, it's Bradley. How you doing, man?
Good. I've had a very calm week. No complaints. Just been taking it easy. Actually, yeah, I like what Eric just said. I kind of like to do that all the time. It feels really good to separate the job of VR and the hobbyist. So I would say I would do the same thing as him. It's very relaxing.
That's cool. In a minute, we can talk about what everyone's been playing then, by the sounds of it. Next up, we've got Between Realities, Alex VR and Skiva. How you doing, boys?
Yo.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Can everyone do the Vulcan thing?
Absolutely,
Oh.
man.
You do both?
I heard all the way.
You do both,
Oh.
though? Because
Like, I don't know. Is
Yeah.
that something that's like a special thing?
Yeah,
Like,
this is-
people really can't do it or something.
I
Like,
can't
is
do it
that-
on one side, like,
Oh,
really easily.
that's really-
If you have to manually do it, that's cheating, by the way. You
No,
have to-
What?
No,
Wait.
you can't,
no.
like be like this. You gotta be like.
I'm good at it
Yeah,
now.
Spock would not approve. For sure.
You know, Spock may not approve, but you know who loves it when you use both hands?
My mom! Even especially like that too.
Well,
Right?
Drew-
I'm not gonna go into details.
I think they call that the shocker.
Between
Oh,
Realities is back
Don't-
this Friday,
Yes.
May 5th. Tune in, live episodes every single week, except for the weeks that we're not here. Pre-recorded episodes on occasional weeks of Between Realities for the next 5 months. I hope you guys are ready. We already have a bunch of
5
guests
months.
lined up. It's going
Are-
to be sweet.
Are you ready
5
for some teasers on last time we talked about it? You said you weren't ready to tease any of the people coming on.
Do you want to tease somebody, Skiva?
Yeah, man. There's this cool cat named Alex VR. We're gonna have him on. Do you have anyone?
Okay.
He's kind of a
You
big deal.
can't.
He's got a ship. A
He's
spaceship.
got
I heard.
many
does.
leather-bound books.
Yeah.
You can't give yourself a pat on the back like that. I am the
I
special
didn't.
guest.
Skiva did it
Oh,
for
that's
me.
true.
Special to me.
Oh man.
What's up, baby? Good looking out, Skiva. Okay. No, you don't get any teasers. All right. Go like and
Really?
subscribe.
On
I
Friday.
know them. I know them all. I'm just gonna spill them right now. I'm not
Yeah.
under any NDA at all. So
Do you know who our first guest is, Skiva?
Besides us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Do you want to share it as an exclusive
Put him on the spot.
on CruCast?
Oh yeah.
Actually, no. Or do I
Oh.
have to kind of look at the calendar? Who the heck is it?
it's like it's like in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, it
person's
is.
watching right now and their face is turning red. Like,
They're like, oh man, I thought I
They're
was
like that
special. They
son
don't
of
even
a
know who the
bitch.
frick I am.
Well, we always do the first episode of each of our seasons without a
season.
guest. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the two of us. So it's like it still seems like it's in the distance. I know it's not really, but
Because you
It
two are
is.
like, are you two related, or I can't remember? Did you just meet?
Skiva's my dad.
He calls him daddy.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
That would be amazing.
But the Rough Talk VR podcast is a father and son team.
I know
Yeah.
they are.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they are.
as Damien and what's I can't
Stratus. That's what he goes
Yeah.
by.
Do you know what?
Stratus.
I need. If any of you guys are going to bail, I actually said I'd get them on here one day because they do a really good podcast. But
They're awesome.
like most things, it's hard to get them off the ground,
Yeah, yeah.
isn't it? It's really hard to
Mm.
get a following on these things. But I know they do really good work. I know you're still looking, Skiba, but before you reveal your amazing first guest on Between Realities, when is it, Alex?
That'll be a week from May 5th, so that would be
12th?
on the
The
12th is when we have our first
Quick
guest.
maths,
But
Roots, quick maths. Last but not least is Virtual Strangers, Wes and Roots. How you doing, boys?
doing great. I'd like to sit here and say that talk about all this VR that I've been playing just for fun, but that's what we do. That's like we do content on the games that we want to play. So like there isn't a whole lot of VR that I get into that we don't cover, but that's
Mhm.
okay because we try not to cover trash. So
Yeah, the
we're
good news is we don't have to play the trash anymore that we felt like we had to 4 years ago.
Yeah.
There's other people that want to cover that stuff. We want to cover the stuff that interests us. So
Yeah, I'll
So
tell
tune in
you.
this week as we talk about What the Bat.
yes, yes, game of the year.
Why'd you do
Maybe.
that to him all the time? Why is it?
I'm not going to take the bait anymore. I'm just happy. I'm happy.
Steam
I'm
coming out of
happy.
his ears.
Look, I'm just happy that game is out there for people to be able to play.
The thing is, it can't be like, I don't know if I can say this now actually, because there's a lot of indie stuff coming to PSVR 2. But the fact it's got Game of the Year from Upload,
Mm-hmm.
it's now available on all platforms. Eric, something must be happening with that
it-
game that's worthy
Upload-
of this stuff.
And
Upload
its
just
price.
Upload just made their top 25 all-time list on April 25th. They just published their all-time games. This is across every platform.
Yeah, yeah.
PSVR 1, PCVR. Number 23 on the list is What the Bat.
How's that possible?
Top 25 game of all time. Games like Population 1 didn't make the
Oh
list.
shit! Really?
Red Matter 1 or 2 did not make the list. Moss, Book 1 and Book 2 did not make the list.
Oh my god! What the
But
hell?
What the Bat is number 23.
Mm.
good job not taking the bait, Eric.
What the
It's-
fuck?
Yeah, that's it. Blood pressure's like.
Where's the bleep button?
I'm just gonna go into this voice because if I rant in this voice, it doesn't sound as bad. It doesn't sound like I'm that pissed.
Do you know what? I'm gonna fucking check this list out. When did this happen?
You got to go do this. You got to go because I was looking for something to talk about on Thursday because I
Feel
really
bad.
couldn't find
Oh,
anything.
there it is.
And I saw the list and I'm like, boop, there's my topic. Boom. I
Is
got
it-
like at
is this-
least 45 minutes on that.
Right, best VR games of all time.
Does anyone else miss Jamie?
Oh, I know Henry.
Yes.
Henry and Harry and
Yes.
Ian, they're all nice guys though.
No, I'm not saying you're not.
I know,
Listen
but
to me.
it's I'm like, yeah,
Upload VR are all nice guys. I really like them. And look, and doing a top 25 list is really hard. And you know what? And what I said on
Is
Thursday
it?
is I'm going to put myself out there and put my list out there because there's going to be people that don't disagree with my list too. But
Right.
man, some of these choices are crazy.
They are
Well,
actually crazy. So,
I mean, Unplugged is number 25.
right, hold on. hold
Okay,
on.
so there you go, dude. That's like.
So listen,
No,
I'm going to read them
no.
out, and you got like yes or no. Half-Life Alex at number 1.
Yep.
I think
I mean,
so.
Sure.
it's hard to argue.
The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, the original.
I would
Wait, so
maybe-
so
It
this is
should be slashed. I think he should be just 1 and 2 there.
so this is all
like
time.
to.
This includes
All time.
like
This is
everything
all
that's-
time?
Yeah,
that
all time.
came out
PSVR
this-
1
a
games,
year-
everything.
Astrobot. Astrobot is next. So that's at number 3.
At 3. At 3.
I
Right.
love that game.
This is going
do,
really
but-
well. This is going really well.
I don't think it's number 3, but
3 is a little
it
high,
should be on
but I
the
think
list,
it
maybe.
deserves to be on the list.
Super Hot
Agreed.
VR. Again.
Doesn't deserve to be on the list.
What?
Not anymore.
top
No
20,
way.
top 25,
Top 25 of
GT
all time. Not
Super
on
Hot.
the list.
Super Hot should
Not
be
at
there.
4.
I-
Not at 4.
I'm not saying it should be at 4, but it should be there.
I don't even.
So-
I can
what-
debate whether it should be on the list, but it should be 25 if it's
What-
even going to be on the list.
What's going to happen is your GT, you're going to go down the list. You're going to start remembering all these games because we've done this when you're top 10 or top 5 or whatever. And there's so many amazing games. You're going to realize Super Hot is going to get bumped
Guys,
off that list. It's
Contractors did not
all
make this list.
Guys,
hold on,
I
hold on,
spent
hold on.
$80 on this
Contractors make the list.
Astrobot, and I want to
Oh.
show it off really quick.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Amazing.
It's awesome.
Woo!
Thank
It's
you.
amazing.
This validate my purchase, please.
Right. Okay.
I
So
love it.
basically,
So
everything.
before you go on, I gotta say, one of my favorite games in my top 5 best VR games in the ever released, and it's not even fully released yet, so maybe that's why it shouldn't be on there. But is Ghosts of Tabor, and they haven't even written an article on it.
No,
They
and
haven't covered
Breachers
it.
isn't on this
Not
list either,
even once.
guys. This
What
came out on
about-
April
is-
25th. Breachers
is-
isn't on this list.
Okay.
RE Village on there?
No.
No,
yes.
yes, it is. Yeah,
I
it is,
can
yeah,
see basically there's
But
two
RE7's
games.
not.
There's 2 games that definitely shouldn't be here, and that is 11 table tennis.
Yep.
That shouldn't be here. Onward, I'd argue about. Because
Over
I mean,
contractors,
two,
by the
two-
way.
two
Onward
years
is
ago,
trash.
maybe 3 years ago, it might have been all right. And What the Bat? Like, I mean, A Fisherman's Tale is a fantastic game. Should it be
Over
in
the-
top
over the room?
25 of all time? I don't know. And Unplugged, the top 25 of all time. I
Right.
mean,
So
this-
you-
Think
When
about
you
what
gotta
didn't
play
make it.
games to do these lists. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
it's hard.
You need you need gamers. And if
This
not, then you just
is-
got to take it with a grain of salt. They're all good games. Besides What the Bat, they're all good games.
They
know?
should be running anything like this. Any article like this should be going through Skiva and Alex. You're the
Agreed.
filter. You're
A
the filter.
million
Because you
billion
guys know what the
trillion
fuck
Oh,
is
yeah,
happening
your
in this
upload.
space.
Your upload.
Well, we're correspondents. Yeah. We help when asked, but rarely asked.
Stormland didn't make this list. Think about the games that did not make this list, guys.
That's what I'm
Stormland.
saying. That's how Super
Um,
Hot gets bumped off that. So 25 is
Oh.
not that many titles. And
I
you-
mean, how do you not have Moss book 1 and 2 on this list, or Red Matter book 1, or Red Matter 1 or 2?
So
point.
Population
is-
1.
no, this might be a shot. This might be a
Zenith.
shot in the dark here.
Zenith is not on this list.
But I think potentially a list like this coming from Upload could have almost tried to be this like well-rounded and like fully curated list that includes like as many different genres as possible, right? Because if you think about Unplugged being on there, they were like, oh well, our top 25 list should probably have a hand tracking game on it. So let's make sure we get Unplugged, and let's make sure we have enough platformers. Let's make
That's
sure
not
we
what-
have
That's not what this
first
is,
person.
though.
Right.
That's not-
I
this is
agree.
an
I think it
all-time
should
list.
be- I think it should be the top 25 games, period. No matter
Yeah,
what.
I agree. I
Mm.
agree. I'm just trying to like
mean,
No, I don't-
figure out.
I mean, if you're
why.
talking rhythm games, Synth Riders did not make this list.
Where's
Did
Beat Saber?
number 1?
Beat Saber is like 13, by the way, which I even said, wow, that's high. That's high on the list for 13 for Beat Saber. And I hate Beat Saber. And I thought it should have been a little bit lower on the list, but
Like higher ranked.
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I was surprised that it was 13. I figured top 10 at least, maybe even top like 7 or 6 or 7.
It's the only game that everybody I talk to that knows about VR that doesn't play it. That's the first thing they talk about. They're like, "Oh yeah, that one with the blocks." You know, everybody knows Beat Saber.
What was Virtual Strangers game of the year last year? Hands down.
It was
Uh,
Wanderer, wasn't it?
Wander.
Wanderer is not on this list.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
You
What the
fucking
fuck?
kid.
I know.
That's bull.
Mate,
Oh,
I'll tell you
man.
what, the Quest one is really weird. Like Ultra Wings 2. These are the top 25
Yeah.
games of all time. What the Bat again. Like the really good games were
Farpoint, not on this
Up
list.
the list somewhere. Again,
Did Bone Lab make it?
11 table tennis.
Bone Lab did make it. No, Bone Works made it. Bone Lab did not.
Yeah. So yeah, that's weird.
Blade and Sorcery made it.
Unplugged
Wait a minute.
again.
Is Asgard's Wrath on here?
Yeah, I think it was.
I didn't see it. Maybe I
No, it's
scrolled
not in the
past it.
all time. It probably
Oh,
is
okay.
in the PC VR because there's a category for each, which is fair enough.
That's incredible.
You know what was good though? It was good to see that Blood and Truth did make it.
It is. It is.
Blood and
Um,
Truth is on
well,
there.
Asgard's Wrath. Asgard's Wrath is 12th. So they
Yeah,
did. I
okay, it
just
is on
missed
there.
the first time.
Where's
yeah.
Wipeout Omega edition?
Nope,
VR?
not there. Where's GT7?
It's one of the best.
I
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
Gran
Yeah,
Turismo
dude.
7.
That's what I'm saying. That thing should. I mean, oh my god.
Again, this is hard. Like I would have to leave off some really hard games. I have to make some hard choices to do a top 25. There's just some weird ones on here. That's all. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you leave. I'd have to figure it out too. But what do you else do? If I put Red Matter 2 on here, and Wanderer, and Contractors, and
Breachers.
Moss, and Breachers, what do I take
Population
off?
one.
I mean,
That's
you
what I'm
can take those 4 weird ones off, okay, easily enough. But then you got to make some hard decisions.
That's what I was saying about Super Hot. Even though it's an amazing game, it just eventually gets bumped out by because there's so many
You're
really
probably
good
right.
games.
But it's
You're
all
probably
time
right.
though, dude. And Super Hot is so freaking good, man. Like I love that game. I think it's huge.
I think it was
I
a
do
great
too.
game 16 in 2014.
I was gonna,
It doesn't hold up against the games today.
this is the game cat, right? So in my Discord the other day, something come up about upload. I think they've done I don't know, an article about something, and literally the response, someone posted it, and then everyone went, "I don't go to upload for anything to do with games anymore." Like, and he's put in the chat, "Upload is only good for hardware. They know nothing about gaming," and that's actually like, I would say, the summary of what I saw.
It's true. I mean, it wasn't that case. That wasn't the case when Jamie and Zena were there. They were very, very on the pulse of games and what was happening. They made a lot of good, they wrote a lot of good articles, and their lists were pretty good, you know. But they're gone, you know, and it shows, and that's too bad. And you know, those guys are great, and they're great writers, and but you know, they're just not gamers.
So what happened? Like, have we had an upload? Have we had an upload showcase with them gone since? Because
Yes, this last
Oh
one.
yeah. Oh, we
Yeah.
definitely have.
You can tell. Yeah.
oh, I can't remember. Was it not very good?
It was yeah.
No, remember they even had like the supplemental one. Like, here's the upload showcase, and then here's the ones that didn't make the
Oh,
main
yeah,
one. And
that
we did
was
another
weird.
small shitty one that's even shittier games.
Yeah, I remember that, and it kind of felt like it was very sponsored, wasn't it? Like, you know, like a bit of a cash grab thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That was a weird one. Welcome everyone in the chat. How you doing? Thank you all for joining. I recognise every single one of your names. Thank you very much for being here. And I think I did see some new people as well, which is from those little clips that I'm uploading now and again. I guess more people are seeing the show, which is really cool. We need to talk about the Metagaming Showcase because they did a little teaser showing what everyone is now saying is Asgard's Wrath coming to the Quest. And there's 2 topics I want to talk about. One is, do you think that Meta have any interest in PC VR anymore? And does anyone really have interest in PC VR anymore too much when it comes to new games? And yeah, what games are you thinking is going to be shown at this showcase, or what you hope will be shown?
Does anybody think that might be Asgard's Wrath 2, or is it definitely for the Quest 3? Because I saw some people talking about maybe it was for PC or Quest 3 for an Asgard's Wrath 2 or something, but
I'd say it's probably Quest.
Right,
3.
Quest.
Quest
Right.
version of
Yeah.
Asgard's Wrath.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
hoping
probably
that's
a
not, but yeah, I think
Quest
that's
2
probably what it
version.
is.
So you guys think it might be Asgard's Wrath 2, did you say?
I just read somebody saying that. I
The
don't
thing
know
is,
if that's not
I mean,
true or not.
I read that as well, but I immediately dismissed it because I kind of thought, well, the audience they're going for now probably haven't played Asgard's Wrath 1.
True.
Right.
Like,
Here's the
That's a
here's
good
the thing
point.
though, and we were talking about this last night. Asgard's Wrath would be a great title to bring over to any platform, but to bring it to a standalone platform, it was going to be kind of difficult because that's a whole lot of game. And even if you like dumb down the graphics and take the textures out, it's still going to be a massive file on your standalone headset.
What
I'm
was
not
it-
saying it's
Unless this is
impossible.
going to be Quest 3.
What was Medal
This
of
could
Honor?
very well could be Quest 3 launch.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, Medal of
Medal
Honor
of-
was huge. It took
Yeah, it was
almost
like
the whole
50
headset.
gigs or something.
No, it was 100. I'm sure
It
a-
was
You-
big enough that you couldn't get it on the one
On the 64
gig.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
You
Yeah.
had, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
right. Not unprecedented. So certainly could be just a straight port.
I don't
There's-
want it to be because I'd rather play something different. I think the game was again like super hot. It was cool in its day, but to me, I don't know. I'm not big on melee games. I got bored halfway through it. And like Wes said, it's so fucking long. It's too long. Did anybody here finish it?
I didn't know.
I don't know
No.
many people that did. A couple.
11 hours in.
Most
Okay.
people get to the jail area and then they're done. It's too long, I think, and I don't know.
Do you know what I found? That game really lacked characters and narrative to push it through. Like, you go into a village and there was no one there. Like, and it looked beautiful and the weapon was really cool. There's a point where you got like the axe that comes back to you like God of War and shit, and you're like, yeah, this is really cool. But it just felt, even though everything's moving in the wind and stuff, it was like, where is anything? Where is anyone to? I don't know. It just felt weird. I thought it felt a bit lonely as a game, but I haven't seen.
I think if they,
Go on. I haven't seen anyone else say that, so I never say it.
yeah, I mean, I think we're a little bit spoiled because we've all been able to play it. But think about a lot of people that haven't been able to play it. So to be able to get the majority of what we call today's VR user into this game, if they can move this, like I don't want to see this on the Quest 2 for sure, because I think it would be a terrible version of what the game could be. But if they could almost 1-to-1 port, now I have no idea if this is possible. I have no idea if this is the case, but if they could 1-to-1 port that PC version to the Quest 3, that would be something special.
Do you think that the Quest 3 is that powerful?
Brad?
Yeah, this is bringing the
I don't
expert
think
out.
so personally.
What sort of spec PC is a Quest 3? Do you know what I mean? Where would you put it if you could benchmark it?
Probably like a 2016 minimum requirements PC for VR. So like
What's that, a 1080?
being around like 9.7, 1060 maybe.
Oh, right. Okay. Lower end of 10s.
But I mean,
Yeah.
with optimization, I mean, you could play Asgard's Wrath on a 1080.
I mean,
What do you, Alex?
did.
You're running a 1060, aren't you?
1070.
1070. You could run Asgard's Wrath on that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. When that game came out, that's the cards that were out. It was the 10 series, right?
yeah, I think it was.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure I had a 1080 Ti at
Maybe.
that time.
That's what
I haven't
was
found a
playing on
game I
as well.
can't play yet.
Have you played
mean-
the Left 4 Dead mod? That thing.
I did.
Yeah. Did you really? That chugged my 30.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
same.
3080 Ti.
Holy
I was
moly.
like, fuck, man. It was crazy.
It's weird how these things go because, like Mike, who we were speaking about earlier behind the scenes, I would talk about a game I'm playing, and then he would say to himself, like, "This game runs like shit," and I'm like, "What sort of PC you got?" And he's got 4090. He's got everything, and I don't understand how for me it's okay and for him it's not. Like, that's the world of PCs, isn't it? The craziness.
Well, this is part of the problem, and Wes has gone through this with me because he was oblivious to a lot of reprojection or anything going on until I started talking about monitoring it and watching it. And so if you're one of those people that's watching for it, like my fucking monitor yesterday when in that game, my CPU was being so overworked, right? And the GPU for that Left 4 Dead. But if you're not paying attention to that, FPS, VR or anything, and you can't really sense it too much, you don't even know what's happening, right? Ignorance is bliss. Oh,
That's right. More of the story
So-
is don't be a number watcher.
yes, don't watch your numbers. I'm
And then
sure
you
Mike, I
ruined it.
guarantee
You ruined
Mike
it for
is-
Wes.
I'm-
You ruined it.
Exactly. Well, at least I'm sure Mike is the same way. He probably watches, some kind of a monitoring thing, and so he knows how poorly it's running. But if it's still running and it's not making you sick, it doesn't really matter, I guess, right?
So with Asgard's Wrath, apparently that team like trademarked or submitted like a name, like a title, something along the line of like World of Wrath. It has like World of something. I see a
Hmm.
tweet that but I
You're right.
don't know
How
if
you
that's the
feeling,
only version of
Roots?
it.
When you hear those words, how do you feel?
Oh god.
Some
I
people
want World of
think-
Warcraft.
Alright.
in
Some
VR.
people think it could be an MMO. There are a handful of people out there speculating that
Oh.
it could be an MMO.
That
Wow.
would be nice, especially if they did like a really cool one instead of Zenith. No, Zenith is cool, but if they did one that I like a little bit better, that'd be
Mhm.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I feel that would be super, like a lot to bite off on that. Like, do you think they could make a game that like that? And like, do you think we're
Intricate.
ready to take that next step? Like, we've had Zenith, which is a step. Do you think we're ready to take that next step into World of Warcraft? Or like, I think we need something in
well,
between. I think we
it
need something in between
depends.
there, and I wanted it to be good. You know.
It depends. If you've got people that have the vision and they've got the knowledge to bring it to fruition. I would have said the same thing about a game that in VR a year ago. If you said there's a game that's going to come out and it's going to be really close to Tarkov and you're going to feel like this is Tarkov in VR, I'd say, nah, dude, we're so far away from that. But they've, Ghost of War has proven me wrong in that thought process, right? So I think that if you had the right team, you could do it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I just wanted to. So today I dropped a video on Propagation Paradise Hotel, and Artful has said in the chat he's heard me say it's around 3 hours gameplay, and he's straight out like he's not interested in this game. And in my review, I basically said I'd rather have 3 hours playing a game that was actually really well made and like almost how can I, all the time I was in there wasn't wasted. Yeah. Over some of the crap I play for like 8 to 10 hours. So
Right.
I get it, like, because it does stop dead, which is a real shame. But I honestly think if you enjoy it, VR horror, it's fucking epic. Like, I don't swear in my reviews, I can swear here, but it is fucking epic. I was shitting myself today playing
Nice.
that game.
That's what you want, right? From
Honestly,
a game like
dude, I was
Is it
yeah.
is it close to the PC version of the demo of
I actually only
Propagation?
I quickly looked at the PC version. All my I've pretty much lived in the Quest version, but it's like they've took the weapons out of Propagation on PC, and I think they don't look the same, but they've gone for those like horrific hellish designs for a couple of the monsters in there, and a couple of like the high mutant zombies. You got zombies, and you got mutant zombies, and then you got a fuck off mutant zombie kind of thing. And it was just it was like being in the cinema kind of thing, you know. It's a really, really epic time. And
I was just getting ready to make that comparison.
I did it over 2 days as well, so it was really cool. But
yeah, like people they flip out if they spend $15 or $20 on a game and the narrative of that game lasts for 3 hours. Like that is the price of going to a movie. You know,
yeah.
like,
So this game I think is $20, €20.
Yeah, yeah, that's the price of
£14.
going. $14 plus some popcorn. Boom, you're over $20. You know, like really easy to spend that on an infinite other amount of awesome entertainment things out there. You know, and you could argue, oh, it's not the same. You know, I know what I'm getting when I get a movie, whatever. But at the end of the day, if it's keeping me entertained and it's fun and it's awesome for 3 hours, I think that's worth $15. You
Same.
know.
I agree.
Maybe.
I agree too. But like one of the best games I played was Fracked. But you got to remember, we
Mhm.
killed that game because of the length. So
Right.
this game has
Well,
to take a hit. You know what I
That
mean?
didn't. It depends. Does this have a narrative? Because Frack didn't, and that was one of the reasons
Eh,
why.
If Frack
you
was
know.
3 hours longer, it had a chance to be game of the year.
Exactly. And that was my point. We didn't exactly kill the game. We recommended it at $30, but it could have been so much more, right?
Right.
It could have been the game of the year if it was 6 hours instead of 3 hours. Same thing with Transference. $30 back in the day, 3 hours is generous, but no complaints. I recommend from me because it was cinematic and awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, but
Well-
it took a hit. It did take a hit because of that, because of the
For sure.
length. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean? So,
think when I think the real question is value, price. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, this was like, as I said, I didn't know how long it was, but I heard rumors from the other guys playing it. It was like 2-3 hours and stuff. And I was thinking, oh God, I hope the price is good. And then they dropped for £15, and I thought, yeah, that's good. Like I would pay that, and I'd play it on a harder difficulty as well because there's some things I didn't find. I had a really good time. And I don't know. In some ways, I welcome a game like that because, like, it's really quite intense. And I think, like, for you smokers, Like you, I think
Who are you talking to?
whoever,
Meow Wolf Alex.
whoever.
I got you.
I think if you like, once you get in here and you're on your own, like you're gonna be like, yeah, the sounds alone are fucking great. Like it's terrifying. You're walking along and you're just like,
How much money will people spend for a haunted house or in Halloween for walking through for 7 minutes or something, and you stand in line for an hour and a half to get in there?
Yeah,
This is 3 hours. I think it is. It's about what you're getting for it. And like I said about Asgard's Wrath, kind of applies here as well. How many games do most people finish? Maybe Artful finishes every single game. I don't. Most people, I would say, probably don't. So this is a game you're guaranteed to finish, right? 3 hours. So
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I spend $30 to go to the movies with like me and my kid. You know, it's like an hour and a half. I am absolutely okay spending $20 for a 3-hour awesome experience. I do have access to this game, and I'm so terrified to go in there. Man.
you should stream it.
Oh,
So,
I can't wait to go in there, but we had to push it on the next week's schedule because some of us are under embargo and can't talk about it.
So speaking on like price for cost, let's say Meta Game Showcase, they announced Asgard's Wrath ported to Quest. How much did they sell it for?
It'll probably be 40. That's what it was originally, right?
They would push for 40, I believe. It'd be 30.
For
Well, it'd be
sure.
35 for my money, 40 in your dollars. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
depends
for
on how
sure,
long it
it's
is too.
$40.
If it's anywhere near the length of the first one, I think it should be $60.
Oh, so you don't think? Oh, okay. You said a straight port. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's a cut down version, and if it's a 20-hour game, then I think the reduced cost is there. But we need to start spending more on these games,
Right.
otherwise these developers will not survive. I'm telling you right now. So you cannot put millions of dollars into making a game and then charge $10 or $15 or $20 for it. If it's going to be a big title like that, we need to be able to pay $50-$60.
Right.
It's an interesting discussion to have, though, in the context of kind of the precedent with regards to home-based systems versus mobile. Because if you think back, like Game Boy games cost about half of what Nintendo games cost, you know, and like 3DS games cost about half of what Wii games cost. So there's a precedent here that the market has set that a standalone kind of watered down version of a game isn't quite worth what the full version of the game would be worth. So yeah, it's interesting to see Meta kind of try to strike that balance of parity, especially since they cut the PC platform loose a year plus ago.
I would argue that Meta doesn't see themselves as a mobile version; that they see themselves as a console, and you know what I mean. I don't.
Right.
I think they are a mobile version because I've played the Quest games. I've played them on PC, but I don't think they look at it that way, because when I play a PlayStation game and I play it on the PC version is most of the time better, you know, higher fidelity graphics. But you know, I don't think that's what they're going for. And you know, I think with the Quest 3, maybe it'll be a little different. Maybe they will be more of that console and console quality. I have definitely, you know, spent $70 on multiple games for PSVR 2 games so far, like Resident Evil 8 and Gran Turismo 7. And those games, especially Resident Evil 8, I would have paid double for. I mean, that was such an incredible experience. Everything worked so well. The gunplay was phenomenal. Like I would have easily paid over $100 for that. Now, do I want to? No, you know, but I agree. These devs this has to be worth it for people to make these games, or we're just not going to get them.
Another thing I see a lot in not just in this chat, in chats in general, is people say who are lucky enough to have access to Quest and PSVR 2. I'm going to put those two first because I think they're the two most popular. They won't buy a game on Quest because they'll wait for the PSVR 2 version, and then I think to myself, but if they don't sell enough Quest version, there might not even be a PSVR 2 version. So, do you know what I mean? It's interesting.
I do, but this game is, you know, propagation specifically is coming to PSVR 2, and I don't think it's that far away. So it's a legitimate question to ask. You know, if you have those two, do you get the mobile version, or do you wait for the version that presumably will have advanced haptics and adaptive triggers and eye tracking and all the bells and whistles that come with PSVR 2?
Will this be cross-buy? Is this going to be a Rift Store version too, or no?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I haven't checked
Because
them.
that would make a difference. If you're going to tell me you're going to give me
Hmm.
2
Both
copies
copies?
of it for the price of one, I get a PC version and a standalone version. I think that makes a difference.
Remember
Cool.
that conversation that used to actually exist every single time a game came out? It was like cross-buy, and that like died. That's gone for like a year, right?
No one
Like
says it.
usually,
They don't make enough PC games anymore. That's a problem.
let's put it
Rift
this
Store's
way:
dead.
when I find out that it's cross-buy, it shocks me every time because I've just assumed that because most of them aren't anymore. They're not even on the Oculus Store. It's crazy.
Rift Store is very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, although Ghost of Tabor just launched, and that did come out on the Rift Store. I think Breachers did too, did it not? That was crossplay as
that's
well.
true. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So what games are you guys thinking about? Like you'd like to see at this showcase then? Because obviously there's Assassin's Creed that
Yes.
had a minor leak as well earlier in the year, didn't it? Like someone uploaded part of their beta gameplay, which obviously doesn't do anyone any favors, but at least I guess we know it exists. So that was happening. Obviously everyone wants to see about GTA San Andreas, which no idea.
I'm
I'm
thinking.
not holding my breath.
I'm thinking Beat Saber 2 is my.
Do you know what I thought that, Eric, today? And then I sort of dismissed it. I thought, well, why would they do that anyway? Because I mean, what would you do? Have a third saber? I mean, where's it going to go? And you just
Mixed reality.
That would be. I'm back. If you get 3 sabers, I'm back in. I'm back in.
like, I don't know. You
If
know
I
what I
can use
mean?
a middle, if I can use a middle saber, I'm back in.
Yeah,
It'll
boy.
be mixed reality. It'll be mixed reality.
Yeah, it's
for
gonna need to be
PS3.
tracked by the cameras for sure.
Meat saber.
Yes, Meat
Saber.
Saber, Meat Saber 3.
That's the third. That's the third
Nice.
saber.
Some people's meat won't be able to reach. And then, I
Hey.
can't hit the big blocks. It ain't fair.
Oh
It's
man.
funny.
We got to see a mixed reality, an unofficial mixed reality version of Beat Saber at AWE last year, done by Vario, and it was super cool. And I'm
It
like,
was.
wow, how isn't this out yet? But I do believe that all of these MR experiences should wait for color because they're just terrible in black and white, grainy, Quest 2 pass through. So once that Quest 3 comes out with really nice color pass through, I think Beat Saber and mixed reality is a 1,000,000% go.
Are you in then, Mash? For mixed reality, Beat Saber wins your
Oh.
heart.
I'm back in. I'm
You're
back in.
in.
I hope.
Yeah.
You know what? I really do. I really, really, really do hope they have something. Like, please tell me that Beat Games has been doing something since Meta purchased them 3 years ago.
Imagine if
Like,
they could actually
tell me
just,
they're not just spitting out packs.
they could
They don't
literally
need
just,
to do anything though. They're just making money.
But
for
they
them.
could have done. They could do anything. They could make they could just sit there and go, "Do you know what we feel like making? I don't know, a fucking world building game. Anything. It doesn't really matter."
Maybe
does
there's maybe there's one person left in that team sitting in an office just spitting out shitty pack after shitty pack,
it?
pushing a
It's-
button. There you go.
To be fair, they are getting like the most famous artists in the world.
Oh, when you say shitty pack, you mean shitty DLC
Song pack.
packs? Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Eric.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm not a big fan of The Weeknd or anything, but I know that like millions and millions of people are, so I do give them credit there.
Absolutely. When Eric says this stuff, I think of that little gif of Grandpa Simpson yelling at the cloud. You know, old man yells at cloud.
Don't
and-
call me a geezer.
Don't call me a geezer. Yeah. So let me know what are your guys' thoughts then? What games would you like to see? Because I've heard it's going to be 40 minutes. I think is that what
That's awesome.
Ruben wrote? Is it? 40
Wait,
minutes?
is it 40 minutes of pretend metaverse footage?
Right. That's
Zuck-
the thing. What's that 40 minutes going to be utilized for?
Zuckerberg talking to the person we don't know, getting excited about a game that never happened. We'll have to
It'll
wait
show
and
us
see.
his
10
legs again.
10 legs.
Your legs.
yeah.
Just
They
like
perfected the
carrying
legs.
random obscure briefcases into the shot and shit. Like
Yeah.
what is that? Like even if there was a Quest Pro in there, who gives a shit? Like there was nothing cool about that moment in that announcement video.
I think slowly they're going. I mean, at the end of the day, they weren't meant to be a gaming thing, were they? They're learning to be about gaming. I think that's what it comes across to me, Because I thought, what was the showcase where Ruth Brand got in the Ghostbusters car at the end?
That was last year's. That was
Yeah.
last year's Meta
That was a
Showcase.
good one, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that was like, oh, that actually felt like something PlayStation would do, or is more about games than anything.
Is
Yeah,
Ruth doing
that's
this one? Do we even know?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
she
hope
is.
she is.
Oh,
Is she?
nice.
Good.
It says, this is our third and biggest gaming showcase yet, with over 40 minutes of exciting content and more.
And
You
more.
think,
about-
you think they'll,
And
you
more.
think they'll show 20 minutes of one game like PlayStation did for
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 20-minute.
Oh,
What the hell?
what the fuck was that?
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell, Sony?
They were upfront about that. They told people that's what
Yeah.
it was
But
going
why
to be.
would it? Why would it be? Why would they use that for that?
I don't know, but how good does that game look, though, man? I'm not a Final Fantasy person, but I'm probably gonna end up playing it because it looks like probably it may be one of the best MMOs that comes out, and it's gonna be completely different than. That's one of the biggest things I didn't like about Final Fantasy. I don't like turn-based anything. I want to play like everything's going on right now. Don't make me wait for my turn, except for Demio. I'll wait for my turn on that one.
So how do you have a 40-minute showcase showing games for Quest 2 if the Quest 3 is supposed to be announced in October? Do you think that the Quest 3 will be shown at this and they'll be talking about Quest 3 games as well? Or do you think they're just going to go out, make Quest 2 kind of go out with a bang here?
Brad?
I don't personally expect Quest 3 at this event. So
No
You
mention.
don't,
No
you
mention
don't.
of it all.
I don't think so either. That would be weird for them to do that.
they might
I mean,
just be
some-
like, stay tuned for our Meta Connect later in the year for hardware or whatever. Yeah.
Maybe, but it's like the worst kept secret at this point. Everyone knows about it. Somehow the information got out about it. I'm not quite sure where it came from.
Nobody
But
knows.
why did they delay it 6 weeks if it wasn't to kind of get it into that Quest 3 window then?
That's true.
Don't
I know.
know.
I have a feeling they want their own special showcase for that. They're not going to like blur it up with like I think when they do it, it's going to be in the meta gaming, the Meta Connect. Something bigger than just a gaming showcase.
Unless they were
Or they
going to
drop a
drop
standalone
some
thing.
big games for the Quest 3 at the same time. That would make it. How cool would it be if they came out with like 3 banger Quest 3 games as they announced it, or at least brought it up, right? I don't know.
It'll be interesting if they do announce some big budget games to hear how they announce the platform. Like, do they specifically say coming to Quest 2 or do they say coming to Quest platform? Because that would be a tell, right?
They
That's a
do
good
an
question.
Xbox. They're Quest 3 exclusive. Everything.
I'll tell you what I'd like to
exclusive.
see. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's like the first showcase where the developers don't have to port to Quest 1 anymore, right? So like that's
Yeah.
kind of a
Mm.
big boost there.
True.
So,
It's very true.
That's true. Quest 2 is about to become that Quest 1, though. I feel like
It is. They
Yeah.
say it's a ways off, but I don't think it's as far off as people think. Probably a couple of years, but
Yeah, I'm personally really
Jan-
excited for it, but
I am too. I'm excited for the event. I'm excited for the rest of this year. The year's been epic already, and we're
Yeah.
just kind of starting to get some momentum up. The real thrust into the next generation is going to come in the second half of the year.
yeah, and I think it's all. I think this summer's going to be very busy, and there's going
For
to be
sure.
there's going to be like you're going to not know which way to look. Things are going to be happening on all fronts. I'm still really
June.
excited about Apple, dude. I know we don't want to cover Apple again,
I am.
but I'm still pretty buzzing about that. And
I'm stoked.
yeah, and then and today I was looking into it a little bit, and they reckon that, I mean, Brad's here. They reckon it won't have any controllers, that headset. Is that something you've heard as well? Maybe I missed this if we spoke about it.
now they seem to be all in on the hand tracking stuff for sure. So
Interesting.
This isn't for game. I truly do not believe this is for gaming at all. There'll be apps you can play, sure, but this is definitely not a gaming headset. This is a utility headset.
Yeah,
This is to
Squingle.
replace your Mac, like for real.
You can play Squingle like with the Vive Flow. You can play.
oh
Squingle.
yeah, there you go.
You're gonna have to use your phone. Oh my god, no, everybody killed the Vive Flow because it has no controllers. I mean,
Did
I
you-
think if it doesn't ship without controllers, at least ones you could buy extra, This is a
Well,
huge miss for Apple.
Vive Flow didn't have hand tracking though, did it?
No, didn't have any tracking except your phone.
Yeah.
What did it have? Honestly, like what software
It's
did it
nothing.
have?
It's the worst thing I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
like
Did you
at
did
least
you
really
play,
Apple.
did you play
Slurpees.
Squingle?
I
Did you
did.
play it? Did you?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
terrible.
amazing?
Anything the phone controls in that are the worst controls you could ever do. It's so unintuitive and clunky. It's terrible. Like I don't like I know why they pivoted off and say, hey, can we make this headset into an XR Elite? Because that's basically what they did. They're like, we got all these things now. What do we do with them? They're like, oh, maybe we'll make it into an XR Elite because it's basically what it is.
How's it doing? How is the XR Elite doing? Because are you sensitive HTC Skiva or something? In some way?
Yeah, we work a little bit with HTC, but I mean, but I think it could do better, but there's two problems here with the Elite, and I am not speaking from any inside knowledge. I don't know. These are all speculations. I believe that they may be having some chip shortage issues. I don't think they're able to get enough headsets out. I don't think they're able to get them out to devs. I don't think they're able to, I think they're able to meet their pre-orders and stuff, but they're just trying to build up that stock, right? The other problem is that they are trying to get all of these games that they're bringing into the store finalized, right? And to build up a really good library, which I believe they will. I believe that that store is going to have a pretty good library attached to it. And that headset is really small and light and thin, and it's convertible and it's awesome. And I really, really like the XR Elite. It just needs more in the store. So I think this is going to be a little bit of a late bloomer for a headset, which is a little concerning because by the time this thing gets its legs,
Yeah, I was just gonna
it
say,
might
dude.
have higher end competition. So let's see what happens. But we just have so many companies right now fighting for this chip production that it's really hard because the people selling have the most money to put down to buy the most advanced stock in these chips. So this is a tough game right now to be in. You got to really be scrappy, I think, to get in this game at this point, and be going up against Meta and some of these platforms trying
Apple.
to buy chips.
People with connections that have no problem getting chips, right? They're the top
Right.
of the list. So
Yep. I think that's also one of the problems with the PSVR 2 is I think they just don't have the chip production capabilities to produce enough PlayStation 5s and PSVR 2s to really make a solid marketing push here. I think a lot of what we're seeing is still post-COVID woes of trying to get hardware produced in a timely manner to meet the demand that could be created with proper marketing. So, a lot of this stuff, we gotta make more chips.
Chips.
Mhm.
Delicious.
My question is this: we've been kind of killing Meta now for, I don't know, a better part of 2 years because they tried to pivot off of gaming in virtual reality and augmented reality into a workflow social platform or headsets. And we said it was too soon. It's not ready yet. And Apple thinks that they're going to come out and not be any type of gaming
Very
and just
different,
be
though.
social.
No, they bought a gaming company. They bought a gaming headset and
That
a
is
gaming
true.
platform.
No, I
and
don't
they tried to
disagree. I'm
move it
asking whether
away.
the market is there. I don't disagree that they didn't do, they did what they should not have done. What I'm saying is they proved themselves wrong. They tried to pivot too fast and the market wasn't ready for it, and that's why they've had to pivot back
The
again.
market,
But
yeah, the market wasn't there for phones either. They created the
right.
market by
That's
making
exactly
something
it.
I
exceptional.
hope so.
The
hope so.
iPhone
They will.
when it came out, it took the world by storm, right? And that's what
Not
Apple
right
does.
away. It took time, I don't think, right?
Well,
If you guys
that's the
remember that.
thing.
A
And
little,
you
not
got to
much.
think that will be reflected in what their goals are through this first and maybe even into the second generation is not really how many units that they move, but what kind of impression they can make and what kind of demand that they can build, what kind of image they can build for their product line.
This
Yeah.
is a dev kit. Make no, this is not. I do not think this is that they see this as being a viable high selling headset. I think this is to get enough units out there for people to go, oh, and then developers to go, oh, I have an idea, and to start building this ecosystem. So when they get like better priced versions of this, that it can really truly take off. There was no phone market for them. They've always been about productivity, about the Macintosh, and being able to use this stuff in real world utilities. There are no other headsets capable of truly being able to be used as a workhorse right now, because the resolution is still too high. They're still too uncomfortable. There's not enough processing power. I think this is going to solve a lot of those things at a very high end cost, which the Apple market is the market that people are willing to spend money on. The Apple people spend more for their laptops and their computers and their, and all of their hardware than anyone else. They're not going after budget PC people. They're going after the high end. I want to spend some money. I'm in business. I'm doing all right in life. I'm going to buy this headset. And they want to put them out there in stores to really show people what this is capable of. This is going to be something you're going to be able to read text very, very clearly and easily. It'll be lightweight, pass through to label things and show real augmented reality things. They've been working on ARKit for as long as I can remember, showing people through an iPad and a phone augmented reality that nobody cared about. Why? Because they were leading up to this. I think this is a critical and crucial moment for everything other than gaming in VR and AR. And I think if anyone can pull this off with the market that they're in, I think it's Apple.
I think you're right when you say critical, because it better work. Because if it doesn't, this is bad for everybody. If Apple fails, this is terrible. And this is, and there's at this price point, tell me tell me you guys you're like, yep, this is going to be a huge success and they're going to sell millions of them and it's going to be great. Like I'm worried. I want this to be a success, because if it's not, this is going to be bad.
Define success.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a success in our circles. I think it's going to be.
Oh no, I'm not saying it has to be. It just has to be a success. It doesn't have to be. If it's
no. I'm
if
just saying.
It's not a gaming headset. That's fine. But I think it needs to be a success monetarily for them. We want them to come away and go, wow, this was an amazing thing. Thank God we did this. If they come out of here and go, wow, we fell on our face and we lost billions of dollars, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Fatty super chat 1999 from Reese the King. VR.
Reese the King.
Much love to my VR fam is what he says.
What's
Shout
the
out
heart
Reese.
thing? I can't remember how to do the heart thing.
I'll tell you what though, after listening to Skiva talk speech there, I'm in. I'm getting one.
I know he did put the sell. He put the sell on, baby.
Yeah, dude. They need to have you out there selling it for them, Skiva.
No, but this is for real, guys. This is the beginning of something special, and they know no matter what they sell for this, the future is spatial computing. Even though this is very early in the market, if we looked at Atari's numbers and judged all of video games, we would have all been so wrong. Apple is a very smart company, and they know what consumers want before the consumers. Do you remember the first Apple event where they showed off the iPad? People didn't even clap. Steve Jobs was up there and he was showing this thing. He's like, no, you got to get this thing in your hand. And everyone was just sitting there, and it was embarrassing and it was weird, right? But Apple showed that they knew what people want before the people knew, right? And then they went out and they killed it. Now everyone's got an iPad. This version of this headset will not be in everyone's house. This is version 1 dev kit, but they know the future is spatial computing, and it is. I believe that with every fiber of being in my body, and I don't believe it's all gaming. I believe this is real world application. I believe it's medical. I believe it's schooling. I believe it's high-end training and flight training, and like all of this stuff. Apple knows this, and they are in it for the long haul. And this, I mean, they've been working on an AR kit for so long. This is they're in.
Yeah, I don't think VR has proven itself to be like truly mass market as fast as a lot of us want it to be. And you think about Meta, they've gone to the approach where they just build out the thing slowly with iteration.
Affordability as well.
Yeah, and whenever people think of Meta or VR and they think of Meta, they think of that image of Zuckerberg next to the Eiffel Tower, right? Like because they've taken this iterative route, they've not shown how truly incredibly amazing to an average user who can't go out the store and buy one, what VR can bring to people, what AR can bring to people. Apple's taking the opposite approach. They're building out software, they're building out high-end systems that are extremely expensive to make it good before they made it cheap. And I think that's kind of what VR has always needed, in my opinion. Like you you gotta wow people even if they don't put on the headset, which we just haven't had. And you gotta make people wowed enough to come back to the headset later. So
Damn, dude.
Hope so. Like I
Yeah,
said,
Meta-
I want it to be a success. I want this to be great. Like I just really do. I want it to be like something. I want it to be the next step where everybody goes. I need to. Everybody wants to have one of these in their home. But I just hope they're ready to. This first headset you said is a dev kit, so they probably need to know that they're going to take a loss on this first one.
They do.
And I
They've said
hope
it.
they do. I hope
They
they're
have
ready.
said it publicly. And Meta wants to be the next Chromebook, and Apple wants this to be the next MacBook Pro. There is a MacBook chipset in this thing, a laptop chipset. This isn't a cell phone processor. This is like a real compute unit. This is a big deal. It's a big deal. It's the beginning of
Yeah.
something beautiful.
A D1360 VR in the chat says VR Gen 2 starts in June. And I believe that's true in some sense. I think within 2 months, we're all just going to be swimming in hype because we're going to have the
Yeah.
Apple reveal. We're going to have the Meta showcase. I think that we're going to have a Sony showcase as well. And we're going to start building momentum toward the holiday season in June. So I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, normally everything in VR goes really downhill for the first half of the year. They're like, you have that real cool high of Christmas, then it goes woo down, and then it slowly climbs back up. And PSVR 2 was like a bump in the road, where everyone was like, "Oh wow, that's amazing!" And now everyone's calmed down again a little bit. And but yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be, as I said, you're going to look around. There's just going to be like, I could talk about everything today. There's just so much that's probably going to happen. But like we said,
As long as we get What the Bat 2, we're okay.
Yes.
1.5. I've heard they're doing that.
What the bats? What the bats?
Ooh,
What the
like a
bats?
multiplayer.
Yeah. Oh my God. There you go. There you go. Multiplayer. What the bat?
I mean,
It's an MMO actually.
Oh, can you imagine in that universe?
what the bat
my
MMO?
Everybody's got
Forget about
bats
World
for
of
hands.
Warcraft.
Yeah, I'm in.
What
I'm
the
in.
Warcraft?
I want to play the hardcore version of that.
Something
It's
wrong
pretty
with
good.
everyone.
Yeah, hardcore.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I'm just looking at the actual Meta website, and they're saying this is a banner year for VR. The third annual MetaQuest Gaming Showcase is our biggest celebration of the depth and breadth of content across the MetaQuest platform. 40 minutes of content, including brand new pre-show of game updates and debut trailers to help you count down before the showcase kicks into gear, as well as post-show developer roundtables for a deep dive conversation around some upcoming games. New game announcements, gameplay first looks, updates to existing games.
Sounds
Hmm.
legit. Sounds legit, man. They're going to lead in with trailer premieres and end off with dev talks. I mean, that's unprecedented for Meta.
What do you
Like,
think
that's-
would be their like lead out game though? I mean, imagine. I think Assassin's Creed would still send some ripples if it looks good. You know,
I think they're going to surprise us with something. Again, I think that they'll announce something, a huge title, something that people recognize and get excited about. I have no idea what that might be,
no.
but I think they know, with all the bad press and everything they've got, especially over the last 6 months, and kind of the downward trajectory of the metaverse concept. I feel like they know that they kind of have to knock it out of the park here to try to regain some momentum. Again, as Apple enters the market and Sony builds a market share. So I think they're going to bring their best shot. That's what
Do
I
you
Are
think.
you
reckon?
saying Fortnite VR is coming, Wes? That finally we're going to see that on the Quest?
Yeah.
Minecraft. I think we could see Minecraft.
That would be
Mm.
cool.
That would be cool.
That would be huge.
I
That would be seriously huge.
I really enjoy playing Minecraft with PSVR. That was great.
That was my first VR game I ever played. Was Minecraft PC on the Rift.
Yeah, yeah.
Super
It's-
cool.
Or
It's a cool
Roblox
experience.
VR on the Quest
Roblox. Exactly.
Roblox,
Roblox
is definitely
Yep.
coming.
Roblox
announced it,
would be
remember? They
bigger than
deleted it.
Minecraft.
Mhm. I think
Roblox, yeah.
Roblox will definitely be there.
That,
I
But
want
that would
them
be
to-
huge.
I want
Huge,
them.
huge,
I want them
huge.
to announce their partnership with Microsoft and do Gears of War VR.
Ooh, that would be sick.
Imagine
Yeah,
actually
geez,
physically
Martin.
doing an active reload.
Halo
God.
VR or no?
You could do the cover system like Fract, like where you
Mm.
get, how the cover system is in Gears of War. You could pull yourself out of cover to shoot like Fract. That would be awesome.
And you could do automatic reload with one button.
But How dare you?
Why you gotta be like that, Roots?
How dare
I
you?
just-
Why
I
do
just-
you go there?
I-
I just
You
know
just
last
complete. You
night
just you just completely killed Skiva's hype.
Oh, no.
I'm out. I'm out.
Listen,
Oh,
I want to
man.
do some interactive questions with the chat. I want you to guess how tall Roots is.
Oh God.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
is a good one.
because I don't
We
think
just found
I
out.
don't
Exactly.
think any of you are going to get that right.
No.
Well, I was
I
just
love
saying,
how there's, like-
I didn't really even know how tall he is because I've never seen him in real life. I don't. He was always sitting every time we talk.
That's true. Do you
I
know
think
how
he's
tall I
AI.
am?
I don't think
What
there
he
is a-
just
He could be
constantly
AI.
sits? Does he just
I'm
float?
not.
I've
I'm
never seen
99
him standing.
I'm 99% sure I'm not AI. I've stood when I've streamed VR. How creepy would it be if I am AI? Because that means I've called Brad out by name in a tweet. Now, or somebody's chat GPT, right? Don't they know who you are, Brad?
Right.
Not sadly, it's Bradley. Brad.
Right.
You're on a first name basis.
Whoa!
dare
We're
they.
all over the place here. We're all over the place here. And the first person to get it right, you can pick any quest game.
Wow,
I'll buy it for you.
6'8". Ryan Burns is 6'8".
He's
Wow.
6'8".
Oh, Jesus.
You're huge,
One.
bro.
I know. I'm taller than Skiva, dude. Now, Skiva, are you 6'8"?
7'2" easy, says Diego Darko.
Diego, you can't have multiple guesses. He's gone 7'2", now 3'2".
Oh, well.
First guest only counts. First guess only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be like a dwarf. I could be like 3'2". You
Root-
guys never
You
know.
have
I
the
could be
beard
sitting on
for it.
books.
Somebody said earlier that that GT's water bottle is normal size. He's just hobbit
I
size.
know. I am.
That's a thimble.
Yeah, right.
Well,
All right.
everything about me is just tiny. Everything. I'm only a foot tall.
So I
We-
have two predictions for the Metagaming Showcase. One of them is that we'll get a release date for GTA. I think it's
Oh,
been
thank
way
God.
too long.
Wow,
Whoa.
that would be big.
I think we'll get a release date.
Will we
'cause they
see a
have not said
gameplay trailer?
anything.
Probably
Well,
not.
they might tease it a little bit potentially. I would love for them to say, and it's out today. I don't think that's going to
Yeah.
happen,
Oh,
but
that
I
would be
do think
cool.
we'll get a release date. I also would not be surprised if we saw a new Marvel IP coming to the Quest 2. It's been long enough
fall.
since we saw Iron Man come out, and I think that they're eyeballing a lot of their IPs at Marvel to bring to VR. Maybe like something like Guardians of the Galaxy, something like that.
Mm,
That'd be sick.
good
that'd be a
call, man.
prediction.
Yeah, Marvel would be big.
Someone said in the back of that picture, which has led to the Asgard's Wrath thing, that's obviously Loki's helmet, that was Galactus in the background.
Hmm.
I don't know who that could be, but it kind of like when you saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I can see why they would say that. And now you're saying Marvel, that's all. But Artful says no, and Artful, I don't know if you see his profile picture, he sort of is rubbing his bulbous head like he's got a big brain. It says, no, we won't see GTA, and it won't come to Quest 2. Like, he's not even like trying to be nice and have a conversation. He's just
He's
telling
saying it's a Quest
It's
3
just not happening.
exclusive.
Oh.
That's what I'm
Oh,
assuming.
Diego Darko had a good one though. Camouflage could unveil the Batman game that they've been.
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about.
that'd be so cool.
That would be
Yeah,
freaking awesome.
And
That
the-
would blow the shit off of people's heads, man. I'm telling you right now.
If
It would
they had
freak.
shit on their heads, it would come off.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Who doesn't have shit on their heads?
Yes.
But,
Well,
by
I've
the
got
way,
a hat on. Behind me.
my favorite Batman villain, shithead.
Yes.
I
Hey,
mean,
before we get too far from it, Beats Creations dropped a 10-pound super chat.
woo, woo.
And they said, what's the thoughts on the recent news about Microsoft patent being filed for eye tracking, hinting at maybe a future headset? I haven't heard anything about that.
I'm gonna type it in now.
Yeah, I saw
gonna
the
ask
article.
Brad.
Actually, I almost posted it in the Discord, and they said that to be fair, that they didn't know if that was for a new headset or if maybe it was for HoloLens or something. But there is
HoloLens,
definitely
right.
a patent out there.
I will tell you everything and crush all your dreams.
Oh, here we
I knew it. He
go.
always does this to me.
So the patent that everyone's referring to is what's called a WIPO patent. It's when you can only file those after you file them with your country. It's basically like an international patent. And the original patent was filed back in 2021, back when Microsoft actually had a huge hardware AR VR division. Well, they don't anymore. I don't know if you remember the recent news that there was a
Mhm.
lot of layoffs, and really the only people that is there working on VR AR hardware is for the HoloLens project. And even then, it is quite a skeleton crew. So
They came out and said a while ago too, and that they were focusing more on, when it comes to VR, they were focusing more on the software. They were going to let everybody else do the hardware, right? So maybe we'll see some stuff from them on that end.
They were supposed to, like, I know that you remember they made a big deal at MetaConnect that they were going to bring the Office platform and the cloud stuff to Meta. That still hasn't happened yet. So that's
True.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Which
going
is-
on with that.
Which is interesting because HTC is now in the Microsoft Office Cloud user manuals for compatible hardware. So you can actually run HTC Focus 3 in the I'm trying to remember which part of the cloud it is where you can manage devices for corporations. But Meta, I don't think is in there still. So it's interesting.
Hmm.
This is interesting.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So you heard it here first.
Brad, so you're saying there's a chance.
There is a
God
chance
damn it.
in hell.
Yeah. What about Behemoth? Are you guys excited for that?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
we'll
Very
see that.
excited. I
Yeah,
want to
hell
see
yeah.
some. I want to see some gameplay footage. I'm excited for the concept.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing, is like we still haven't yet to see anything on this game outside of, we know the developer and we know the concept. We don't know shit about it, right?
Well, we know the name. Do we actually know the
Yes.
concept?
Well, I guess people assume what I guess they kind of
They
explain
did
what
in that
type of a
gameplay.
game.
Yeah,
looks
they
a
had a
bit
video that had.
Skyrim-y.
Yeah, they had a video that showed, like, it wasn't like in game, but they kind of showed kind of what the gist of the game would be.
Yeah.
If they could just make the Shadow of Colossus in VR, I would just be completely happy.
Do you know
Like-
what? Right, I literally, my heart broke because I had faith once for App Lab or SideQuest, one of the two, and someone said, "Do you know there's Shadow of Colossus in VR?" And I nearly broke my neck. Like, fuck, what the fuck? Like, really? And they were like, "Yeah, it's really good." Oh man, it was not good. It was devastating. It should have been illegal. And it probably is, to put that name on that game.
Aw.
Broke my heart.
Was it like a
That's
fan
the-
project or something?
It was I mean, that sounds nice, doesn't it? A fan project. That's a nice thing to say about the nightmare fuel fucking experience I had.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was gutted, man. I was like ready to record. I was like, oh, this is going to be insane. And it was just not very good at all. It shouldn't have had that name attached to it, is what I'm saying. You know, Bioshock VR, someone said.
That'd be cool.
There's so many games. There's so many games like you could imagine would make fantastic VR ports.
Infamous
So
1 and
many.
2.
Heck
Yes.
yeah. That'd be great.
We could
Love the
see. Do you think we'll see some gameplay of the new Ghostbusters game? Maybe.
Yeah,
Possible.
It's been a
Probably.
long
It's-
time.
I reckon so.
It's launch is approaching too. That game's not
Yeah.
that far off, so it would make sense.
Yeah.
I think maybe we learn more about these upcoming games from Vertigo Games. You know, Vertigo got acquired by Koch Media. They have access to a great number of popular IPs, so we could get some big news about whatever's coming next from Vertigo Games.
That's a good point. Artful says about Peaky Blinders' new content updates. Has anyone tried it by any chance or played it, or I don't know?
No,
Okay. Yeah, well,
take
for
your
us,
word for that one.
no, it is there. They emailed me and said, like, did I want to check it out? Because I guess my review wasn't particularly great. It was. I said it'd be good for fans.
That's why I haven't checked it out, because I have not watched the show. So I don't. It just doesn't even look good to me.
No, it wouldn't. Like, to be fair, the NPCs are just. Yeah, it looks nice, but it's about it really. There's not much else going on.
I would love
It's a
to
good
hear
point,
something
Brad.
new from
That
Demio.
is a good point, Brad.
Yes.
What's
More
your point?
Demio.
You should say it, Brad.
Oh, not
Yeah.
again! Has he done it again?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Last week, Qualcomm announced Snapdragon Game Super Resolution, which is very interesting not only for standalone games. Basically, it's built into the chip, its own software suite provided by Qualcomm, and it works for VR as well. It allows games on standalone to render at a lower resolution, and then they do some smart upscaling that's pretty similar to AMD's FSR. But more interesting to me, if you don't really care about standalone, it also works for PC VR games. And the way it works is it's already implemented in virtual desktop. It allows the PC to send or I guess render lower resolution data. So the requirements are way lower. And then when it gets sent to the headset's chip then can upscale it using the Snapdragon chip to the higher resolution you expect. So it's a really cool development. And it's actually a form of split rendering, which is stuff you might see more often as things go on. Yeah.
Split
That term
rendering.
again.
Split rendering.
You heard it here first.
You heard it. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, split rendering. Never heard of it before, but virtual desktop is incredible. Give me another word, Brad, that is technical that I've probably not heard of before.
Frick, you put me on the spot. Okay.
Hey, you can have a minute. I mean, 'cause at the end of the day, no one gets Roots' fucking height right.
Yeah,
here's something
nobody.
technical I could talk about. I think it's pretty cool. It's nothing to do with anything else. I have this special base station that was sent to me from Tundra Labs. So I always like to do a lot of productivity in VR with my headset, but I like to use a Lighthouse headset and I like to use full body tracking. So I can be like, I can put myself in a VR chat like Starbucks or whatever, and it's kind of like relaxing, especially when you can look down and see your legs being tracked. I like to sit at a desk though, so I can have my keyboard and mouse and everything. But the desk usually occludes Lighthouse tracking for the lower body. So what Luke Benno at Tundra Labs did for me, they sent me this Lighthouse and they actually lowered the laser power of the Lighthouse so it works better for close range. So I can put one right under my desk and get the full body tracking. So that's
there's totally cameras in there.
Penis
There's totally
tracking.
cameras in there.
Oh my God, penis
yes.
trackers.
Penis tracking. I
Oh,
can't
man.
see why else
yeah,
it would matter.
use under desk. That is a little sus, huh?
Cross haptics and penis trackers is way of the future.
Yeah.
I believe that after having done Neos last night, that might be the way of the future.
What happened? What happened? Do you want to share with the group? What
Yeah,
No,
tell us
I
what you
just-
did that you all of a sudden cross haptics are the way of
What
the
did
future.
what did we not do, Skiva? Like I've never had so many ridiculous things compacted into such a short amount of time. And when I say short amount of time, how long we were in there? Like 4 hours or something crazy?
Something like
Um,
that. I always tell people, I'm like, you probably want to block off 3 hours, and everyone's like, nah. And then like 4 or 5 hours later, they're like,
What did you do? Did
Yeah.
you do Mario Kart? Did you get to play the Mario Kart
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, we did Mario Kart. We did all kinds of things, dude. We went to an awesome theater that makes big screen look like garbage, like trash. Like, and that's what I was telling these guys all night last night. It's like I'll never do another good review on a game again because I see now what some dude is capable of, and the devs just aren't living up, man.
Wow. I need to jump back in
It's
there. I've been in
incredible.
there for a year.
It's that cash grab mentality that Eric's always ranting about. You know that the most of the devs aren't in it to make their creations and make them awesome. They're in there to get the fucking money and move on to the next product. And it shows.
Here's the awesome thing about this too is that, it's free. So typically when there's an awesome free social app in VR, it's full of little squeakers and annoying people, but the onboarding is so complicated that they can't make it through it. So there's none of that. There was like 300 people online all night last night and on the whole thing, and it was awesome. It was beautiful. Loved it.
That's so cool. Why do you think he's not gone? Like, I say not gone because I don't know the concurrent user base of something like VR Chat. Do you know that, Brad? Do you know how many people use VR Chat all at the same time, roughly?
I think what Wes just said about the onboarding is one major obstacle, but it's also way more performance heavy than even VR Chat is. And VR Chat's already known for being pretty performance heavy.
Right.
So
You have to have a beast of a computer to run it, right?
I just didn't know how popular Neos was. I don't know. Like when you tell me there's 300 people on, is that a lot of people for a PC
that's
VR?
the average.
Right.
Yeah. How many concurrent users on average in VR chat?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Like,
Like 20,000
Oh my
daily, I
God.
feel like.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why aren't these guys going into Neos? Or do
Yeah,
you...
are 19,000 of them on Quest?
Oh, that's Steam VR only. Sorry, Steam VR
that's
charts
Steam
are only
VR
20,000
I
daily.
didn't
Well,
know-
here it is.
players.
Here it is too, though.
Wow.
Is you can? I mean, even VR chat can be difficult to run, but Neos is a beast to run. You're not
Yeah.
running it on most,
Hardware.
hardware, and you're kind of like you're depending on like the person who's in the room, right? Like Skiva, I think is that the case? You're
Yeah,
depending on their hardware to render
peer to
things.
peer as well. So the person running it has to have a good connection. They're hosting the room. It all, there's a lot of things here that there's a lot of hurdles for Neos, but Neos is one of those things we throw around the term before its time a lot, right? This is truly before its time, this platform. It really needs good onboarding. They need to not overwhelm users with all of these crazy menus. There should really be things like you go in and it's like VR chat, and then you can turn on the advanced options to be able to do, to build and do all of the wild things that you can do. There's a lot of things that should be happening, and I think if you keep watch over this next year or so, I think you're going to see a lot of those changes. So let's see what happens, because Neos is truly something very, very special. And as they start to improve it more and more, I think it's going to become more accessible to people. So let's see what happens, because it is, to me, it's still the very best VR has to offer.
Is it always going to be free? Are they planning on it? How are they funding themselves?
Yeah.
Oh God, don't ask.
Oh, was that all that issue before? I remember that. I remember
Yeah, they
that.
wanted to get so they the CFO wanted to fund it all through crypto. Made a bunch of money, hurt the company pretty bad. The original creator wanted nothing to do with that. He wants to be a learning platform, a place where eventually students can come in and take over classrooms and do amazing things for business as well as social applications. But the company still needs to have to be funded. So right now, they give a lot of Patreon subscribers that donate every single month, as well as they get funding from different places that want to be involved in metaverse development. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere, at least not the core team. I think they're always going to be building something special. They have a vision that's beautiful, and that platform is truly special.
That was awesome.
Donation from Man Bear Pig Game Cat. He's put VR mods make sick, like RE8 PCVR, but on PSVR 2, fine.
Man, so eloquently put, my friend.
Thank
So
you.
eloquently put.
Thank you.
Agree.
Yeah,
Agree.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
That's the difference of running off a console than running off of a PC. That your experience is going to vary based on what you're running and what your setup is, and that's why console gaming is so popular, because it's easy to use and it's pretty formatted for everybody.
Consistent.
It's the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
you
the
turn it
difference.
on, it's going to work.
Also, the difference between a multi-billion-dollar Capcom versus some dude.
Yeah.
True.
But that some dude made a pretty damn good experience in
I'll agree with
VR if you have a good setup to run it, because I ran it and it ran freaking amazing. It was definitely it was better. It was really good. It was the Resident Evil 7 mod to me was better on PC
is.
modded than it is on PlayStation.
It
VR.
is.
But
Yeah,
but will it be better than the remaster that's sure to come out for PlayStation VR
That's a
2?
good
Oh,
That's a good
Rhodes.
question.
I hope it does.
You filthy.
It has to come out,
You
right?
filthy 5 foot something man.
Yes.
Where's
Oh!
somebody's
We're giving you a tip,
still
guys.
guessing? I just saw somebody guess 5'11",
Yeah,
like they're
no.
still guessing.
Man, there've been a couple that got really close, because we all have that little caveat that we don't think anyone's going to guess, but a couple people have really been beating around the bush with it. So
Yeah, 7-2 was
we're
the
getting
closest
close.
I've seen so far.
Yeah. Don't tell him.
Squat.
Am I allowed to guess?
No.
No,
guessing.
because you know.
I don't know.
Oh,
What? You were here when we talked about it.
Yeah.
I
Do
don't
you
pay
even pay
attention to
attention to
everything.
us or anything Roots is saying? How
no,
dare
he's,
you?
He's hard. He's leveling his hardcore World of Warcraft.
Sore subject, bro.
I know.
Sore
That's
subject.
crushing.
Oh, Alex, did you hear about Tears of the Kingdom? today?
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't hear about it today. What happened today?
It's leaked online.
Oh, so that
Oh,
happened yesterday, right?
Oh,
Or a
I
couple
have
days-
heard about
People are
that, yeah.
streaming it today. Like
That's crazy.
Nintendo
I actually,
will fucking kill you.
They literally will.
will.
Yeah, they're like worse than Disney.
Yeah.
I actually haven't even watched the last 2 gameplay trailers. Like that's how like anti wanting.
Are you gonna play it?
I am. Oh hell yeah! I'm gonna disappear for 10 days probably.
Should stream it.
Wow.
Maybe. No, I can't do that, man. I just need to play it.
Well, I think the guesses are closed for the Roots competition. Unbelievably,
Nobody got it.
Nobody got it.
Nobody got it.
Wow,
And I don't
crazy.
think we should tell anyone.
Yeah,
No, I
maybe
think we
next
should
week.
hold
Maybe
it.
you guys. Yeah, you're just gonna have
Tune
to.
in. Yeah, tune in next week. Roots will stand up for everybody.
Next,
And the pot is doubled. 2 games next week.
Oh, there's some pot on the line. Damn.
Oh, Jesus.
There's always pot on the line.
Yes.
dude, cool. Yeah, thank you ever so much for joining me today. I'll be honest, guys, I am so tired. I would really appreciate if we could wrap up today.
Let's go.
Is that all
Alright.
good with you
Alright,
guys?
but look at that.
Let's
$80,
wrap.
that's
Let's wrap it
awesome,
as
dude.
quickly as we started and just hit the off button right now. Boom.
Yeah. Bye. Click.
Bye.
Do you know?
Bye.
Do you know
Damn.
who's best? Right, whenever that happens and I watch it back to get the audio version, it's Wes's face. I think he really enjoys the sudden live thing. He's always like, he loves it. He's always happy about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
before we
Love
go, I do want to let everyone know who the first Between Realities guest will be.
Yes.
Here we
Not
go.
This Friday. This Friday is just
Oh,
me and
yeah.
Alex just chilling. But week 2, and I bet no one here would ever guess it, is Blair
GT.
Renowned.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Blair.
Nice.
spicy
Yes,
one.
and for anyone
Oh, it's going to
that
be a lo-fi
knows-
show.
Yeah, so anyone here that knows me and Blair's history, it should be a really good and fun show. We've worked through things, right? But it'll still be pretty juicy and something that you want to tune in for.
Didn't he?
so.
Didn't he
Awesome.
actually pin you once in WWE, like for real or something? Is there like something going on like that?
No.
No.
I mean,
You
I
didn't
mean, I
actually
was
have-
there. Me and Alex were there when they met in person for the first time. And
Did
it
they
felt
fight?
Like it felt like the tension was there, but
It's gonna be
It
fun to
didn't get
relive.
real.
anything going on.
It got real.
Didn't you do a suplex on him or something?
Yeah,
Like
tombstone.
Yeah, but I
Tombstone.
spared no expenses and to let him know exactly how I felt and why. And we spent hours and hours and hours hashing it out, and we really did. And it was
It was cool to see. It was
Yeah.
cool to see like how that interaction started and where it finished and how well it finished. It was
Right.
It was very cool.
Do you know what I love is
That's
like how much of a cool guy he is. I've known people like kind of him before in real life where if they're around other people, they're fucking knobs. But you get on their own, you're like, actually, you're all right. Like why'd you act like a dick in front of other people? And it was almost like everyone was saying, this guy's really nice. But on Twitter, I was like, this guy isn't nice. Like he's not nice at all. He was horrible actually to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then
And we
like
discussed all that, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like he's actually started to change because I don't know that he truly understood how he was coming across and the type of reputation he was starting to get, and I think it was counterproductive even for him.
Oh, absolutely.
So it was great, and Blair is a good guy. He's very passionate about VR, and I'm glad we were able to work things out. And it'll be interesting. It'll be a great show. Either way, it's going to be fantastic. So if you do want to check that out,
I
come on over
will
next Friday.
100%.
Yeah.
be
I think
watching.
Alex should be in the middle.
Oh,
I will be.
And they should be on the ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped speaking to Blair for a long time, and now I do DM him and stuff. He's just whatever you did, it was great that you and him did it.
We'll
we
dive
just-
into
we just
it.
had some great conversation. We really, tried to enlighten each other as to how we feel in a very respectable. Well, I mean, it didn't start respectable necessarily, but honest. It was very honest, and
Yeah.
and I think it was good for both of us.
How
so,
cool would it be if the world would do that and actually just have dialogue with
Holy
all the
shit,
problems that we have going on, all the division, nobody will talk about anything, right? Or there's no ability to talk about it. And I think that's where the problem is. You know, that's clearly with that situation, just having a dialogue and getting to even ground. And now you're stronger than ever. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it is important. You're absolutely right. You got to be able to talk about things, and you have to be able to do so level-headedly and really try to consider each person's point without flying off the chart about what it is that you believe, and try to understand and empathize with the other person. He was very good at doing that. I tried to very much myself. So I think we got to a good place, and I'm very, very happy to have him on.
So, Skeevy, did you ever watch WWE and stuff like in WWF?
Yeah, back when I was a kid,
fine.
like back like Hulk Hogan and
Yeah,
Macho
Rowdy
Man.
Piper and Macho
Ooh,
Man.
I
yeah.
fucking love Macho Man.
Snap into a slip gym.
I'm a warrior. But anyway, right? So,
Ultimate Warrior.
you know,
is awesome.
like your relationship now. What wrestlers are you guys? Like, if you were like, right, you got to take over these people. What sort of relationship as wrestlers would you have?
The British Bulldogs. No, just kidding.
I don't think that was a
going-
thing.
The Bushwhackers.
I knew it like that.
I love the Bush. They were
Walking
good
around with a fucking 2 befores, whatever it was.
£10 super chat
Oh.
from Terry Blanchard says, "Thanks, guys. Great show. Never so many fave content creators in the same room." By the
yeah.
way, you know who else likes to be split rendered?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
she
Well
does.
done,
She
my
does.
friend.
Yeah, she does.
Well
That was a good
done.
one.
Look at that
Well
really
done.
cool thing Alex is holding in
Oh,
his
he's
hand.
got it. Oh, look at that.
Oh my god, dude, it's so
That's
cool.
that's so cool.
I think that is definitely the number one game that everyone would love to see come from PSVR to PSVR 2, or just a
Agreed.
new game.
Yeah, I'll take either one.
Astrobot is such a great platformer.
I love it.
It's the only game that besides Russia Blood, I think, that will get me to put my old headset back on.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
fucking sick, and it looks
Why-
still.
I put my PSVR 1 on still to play Wipeout. It's so good.
Oh, that's true.
Wipeout,
Wipeout.
dude, is
So good.
Wipeout is
yes.
incredible. Like,
Mhm.
and dude, we should actually jump in there for multiplayer one day.
That
Let's
would
do
be
it.
cool.
I'm in.
That'd be a good
Cool.
stream.
I
Don't have it hooked up.
I unhooked all that shit. I'm done.
I only
What?
have it.
I was just gonna suggest
only
Fire
have it
Revolver.
hooked up only for Wipeout. That's it. It's the only reason.
So I tell you, so what we should do then? We should probably set up a retro PSVR night and do Firewall, Wipeout, like whatever the top multiplayer
go.
games are.
That'd be cool.
I'd be so up for that. I'd be so up
That
for
might
that.
get Alex to unbox it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
with the
saying. If you get
Firewall with the
Firewall
aim
back in there?
controller.
We're down.
Yeah, Alex, you be up for that?
Firewall? Yeah, I mean, if we planned it, yeah, of course I would. I love that game.
We need to sort it.
And nostalgia coming out, right?
Yeah.
Like good send off.
Brad, you said that your Nendoroid collection's
Oh,
very
no.
different from mine.
We don't need to go into that.
What is a Nendroid?
I don't even want
collection?
to know. Do I want
There's
to know?
another word.
I
There's
don't
your word that you didn't know, GT.
That's this. They make all kinds of custom characters with posable and swappable faces. and stuff.
Oh, I can
Brad's
only
is going to
imagine.
be like the cat girls
Ah.
and
There's
stuff.
too many.
All
I
right,
don't
Brad.
wanna
Let's.
talk
It's a
about it.
library of
just grab one,
waifus.
Brad. Grab one. Let's see one.
Waifu.
One?
Have you got
Yeah,
one?
come on. You got to have one there.
What's your
My
favorite?
wife literally stole them all from me. Actually, they're not
Really?
even in here
She's like,
now.
I'm taking them.
Her whole desk is all my Nendoroids. She stole them all.
That's pretty cool.
All right, next episode, you got to have at least 4 around you. to show
You know what? I have them in boxes.
I bet he's got a life size one.
us.
A life size.
That would be cool.
It's the suit he steps into. So,
Oh yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah, I have
Hey,
it's not
so
healthy.
just unbox one of those for us. They don't need
They're probably worth something.
Here, that's all you get. All right.
I want a Brad Chan one. Can I
Yeah.
make- can
Oh, I
make
have
that?
one somewhere. Where is it?
Really?
What? Do you really?
I think he is taller than what he's like you said. He does actually look pretty tall.
He is
Brad?
tall, dude.
Brad's tall. He's taller than you think.
You guys have met him in person.
Mhm.
I'll be right back.
The first
Yeah,
thing,
no worries.
the first thing you said to us was, "Hi, I'm Brad."
Yeah, he does.
Dude,
Oh,
no
did he
kidding,
say
did.
that in person
Oh,
as
yeah.
well? Did he just put his hand
Yep.
up like, "Hi, I'm Brad."
What
What are you
We're
guys?
like, yeah, we're like, yeah, we know, Brad.
What are you guys
No, you
playing
are.
this week? Is there anything you're playing this week, or are you looking forward to playing this week?
We're just playing what was it? Left 4 Dead 2 mod. We're going to talk about that on the show. We're supposed to anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna do Left 4 Dead 2 mod versus After the Fall. We're gonna have that
On PlayStation VR 2.
Dude, I miss After the Fall.
Ooh.
I haven't
We're
played
gonna-
that game in so long.
No,
Yeah,
same.
it's been 4 to 6 months for me, and that streak's about to be broken, like immediately about to be.
Yeah,
broken.
with a new version, right?
That's
What
right.
do you got, Brad? Let's see it.
Let's go.
This is my
Oh, it's a
Brad
pop.
Jan pop figure.
That is
That's
so
freaking
cool.
awesome, dude.
It's wearing a maid outfit.
Oh, it is too.
Of course it is.
Sorry.
Was this
That's pretty
Tundra,
sick.
Tundra Tracker that sent you that as well?
This was no fee.
That was Nofio. I saw it.
Okay.
That
That's
is so
funny.
awesome. What do you?
I'm gonna wear
what-
my Brad Tan t-shirt on the next episode.
You
Are
got
you?
a T-shirt?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Damn.
I buy t-shirts.
What do you sell T-shirts, Brad?
I mean, I have a merch store. BradSmells.com/merch.
Wow.
Wake is in the chat.
if you can put that image I made of you flying on the magic carpet, I'd fucking
That would be a good one. Actually,
It would
that
sell
on a-
very
that
well.
on a T-shirt would be
I
absolutely
don't know
fucking.
why I haven't done that yet. Actually, that's a sick idea. What
I'm
the
just
fuck?
because I'm incredible. Yeah, good dog.
You are incredible. Let's
Where's
just say it.
Oh, here. Hold on. Where is it? Here it is.
All right, I got to get something in my background. Let's
Yeah, I
go
like
to-
how this has become
Oh,
a show
no.
and tell when GT tried to end the episode 20
I have
minutes
nothing
ago.
here.
This is my
Ooh,
Optimus
ooh,
Prime.
Optimus.
I'll see if I can get into.
Oh.
Hold on. Hold on.
I'd like to.
Oh, that is
Nice.
pretty sick.
Yeah, he talks.
Remember that one
Ooh,
racing
that's
game
pretty
where,
cool.
where I could go and GT would yell at me if I was like crashing the ship and stuff?
Holy shitballs!
Yeah.
That was-
boy.
what was that? What was that?
What was that game?
Dash
That
Dash
was-
Racing.
No, but what was the
That's
other one
right.
where
The
you had
one,
your-
the handheld.
Did you have a
one.
ship or did?
Oh, by
what
X
was that?
I thought you did because then you.
yeah,
that-
it was X Oculus. The
Was
one
it
was like you were the
Omega?
co-
Omega.
Ome-
you were
yeah,
the
Omega. No, it was
co-pilot,
the one
right?
before Omega Pilot.
Yeah.
It was one where you controlled the vehicle in like the tube.
I worked so
control the
hard.
direction.
for that
Oh.
one.
Z-Race.
Z-Race.
Yeah.
that's
Z-
it.
Z-Race.
Z-Race.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that got everybody sick.
That was my favorite to ride with either GT or Anthony.
Yeah,
Aw.
PD has his own ship too in rendered reality.
That's true. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I hate
What do
those
we chop
guys.
liver?
that now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I hate those guys.
That's what I was gonna say. That now that I speak of it, it's bullshit. There was no virtual stranger ship.
Oh man, well,
Yeah,
I'm
bullshit.
sure. I'm sure if there's, well, probably no one's playing it, unfortunately. But yeah, I worked really hard on the sentences for that one as well. I tried to be really positive and
Don't hit
And
the
that's
wall.
what you
Watch
ended
the
up
paint job.
with. Classy grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, GT. There you go.
Thank you. She's put, hey, all my friends, and you others who don't know who the hell I am. Whoop whoop! Can everyone say hello to Classy Grandma?
We all
Look,
know who you are, classy
What a
grandma.
way.
Yes.
You're
Yeah,
classy
classy.
grandma.
What a way to
That's right.
introduce yourself to everyone all at once.
You know who else loves classy grandma?
My mom.
Yeah, she does.
Yes, she does.
I mean, we haven't really used the button that much, so
Yeah,
Might as well,
I mean,
right?
I'm like biting my tongue over here. You know, I'm just trying to let it slide. You know.
You know
Yeah,
who else?
loves
likes
You know
it
who
to
else
when
likes
you
to let
let
it slide?
Okay, that's better. That's better.
Oh, man.
Parasite earlier just said, what a great show it is. Thank you for watching. He's put, what do you reckon on the new Rise of the Beast trailer? I'll let you know in Discord because I did watch it, but I'm not really a fan of the Beast Transformers, unfortunately.
Mm.
Some people really like them. I'm not a big fan of them. I'm like the 80s, 90s, you know,
My thought is the last
Gen 1.
several Transformers movies have been so amazing that I'm sure this one will be right on the same par. And I'm being a little sarcastic. I don't think that they've been the best, right? I think since they get rid of what's his name,
Shia
crazy dude.
LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf.
yeah, like this.
Yeah,
I just
right.
feel like the stories have gotten kind of weird. The Mark Wahlberg one was okay, but it was I don't know. I just feel like it's a very just like everything in Hollywood these days. They're ruining every fucking franchise.
There's
out
hardly
there.
any soul. There's hardly any soul in them. It just feels, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I still just prefer the cartoon to any of
Yeah.
those films. I did love the first one though. The very first
Yeah.
one they did, I was like, wow, this is so cool.
It was
Um,
really cool.
It was really cool. But since
I'll
then,
tell you,
yeah.
Transformers: The Ride at Universal Studios.
Oh, sick.
Is it
so
good?
So good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've heard it's really good. How is it like? What's the perspective of the people?
You were in a vehicle. You're in a car, and you're in the middle of this battle with Optimus and
Megatron.
yeah,
Yep.
and you're getting thrown around the city and racing down streets, and they're grabbing you and chucking you up against buildings. It is really cool, man.
That
It was
sounds
really cool.
amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that sounds amazing. God damn it. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you ever so much for the donations. Viper
Yeah.
AI says, is it worth Brad, this might be for you. Is it worth it to get the Wi-Fi 6 for the Quest Pro?
6E.
6E.
You're talking about like buying a whole router setup for it? Probably not, I would say, unless you're having really insane interference issues.
Now, I've got like Wi-Fi 5, I think it is, on virtual desktop or something. It runs really well. I've never really had a problem with AirLink or
Same.
virtual desktop. But
No, yeah, Wi-Fi 6E doesn't really like the biggest benefit is again you're on the 6 gigahertz connection rather than 5
Right.
gigahertz, so you have way less devices to compete for signal than others.
And lower latency.
Right.
Latency should be a bit better too, but
That's how it was for 5 for a while there too, right? But everyone was on 4, and that'll eventually fill up.
And the problem is, from what I understand, is 6E. It's still pretty expensive to get good routers for 6E, and a lot of companies in the tech industry are just like saying they're gonna jump to Wi-Fi 7 way faster than letting consumers jump to 6E, for example. So you might want to wait if you're gonna make a
Right.
big house router upgrade. Is what I'm saying.
It's a fortune.
And
on
you
these
can get like regular Wi-Fi 6 routers on a pretty good pricing right now.
Yeah.
So that might be the move if you need a new router.
there you go. Here we are with some tech advice. Random stuff.
There you go.
Samson. Yep. I'll let you do this one, Alex. You're so much better
Thanks,
than I am.
man. Oh, what? Well, okay, you said it, not me. Samson 143 VR says with his $4.99, these are good old American greenbacks.
Mm.
Okay.
Fellow
Nor are these
podcaster
pounds.
as well. Let's talk Oculus.
True that. Let's talk Oculus, keeping the Oculus name alive through the title of their podcast, saying the show that says goodbye 100 times before it actually calling it quits.
Just
Much
hit the
love,
button.
VR fans.
Just hit the
We're
quit
like
button
the-
right now. Go quit.
Yeah,
We're
we
like
just
the-
end,
we're-
just end it. Just end it
We're
mid
like
sentence.
we're like the Marvel movie, right? You don't want to leave before the credits
There's an
finish
Easter egg.
rolling.
Yeah, there's a
You never know.
There's an Easter egg at the end.
How
Did
many
you-
people miss the best part of the show, which is right now?
Did you guys all watch the Mario movie?
I have not.
I can't
heard it was
remember if
good.
I spoke about it. Like, what would you give it out of 10?
8.
7.5.
Yeah, 7.
I think a 7's good.
I thought it was. I won because they didn't use a Latino person for Mario. No, just kidding. I haven't seen it, but I did see people saying that. They said that Chris Pratt. Everyone's all over Chris Pratt. I like him. I think he's a good actor.
He did a good job.
He was
Oh.
good. Yeah. I mean, it didn't, there's like, obviously, when
Mhm.
there's a huge fandom behind something like this, like an upcoming movie, I think Avatar: The Last Airbender is another good example where there's a huge fandom that supports and loves this IP and they make a movie about it. And if it's made without respect to the fans just fucking lose their shit and they like just trample the movie and just give it 0 scores. And like M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar: The Last Airbender movie got shat on because it is a steaming pile of shit. So it makes sense. You shit on shit. But the Mario movie did not do that. Like the Mario movie actually gave the fans, especially like those of us who have been playing since we were children, what they were looking for. But it didn't like make me emotional. It didn't like tug on my heartstrings and like
No.
play the right song at the right time to like squeeze a tear out of me, which I was prepared for because I love Nintendo and Mario that much. So I was like ready for them to like do the thing that just like hit me in the feels. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And I didn't have that moment, but I was not disappointed by anything that I saw. 7 out of 10.
Is it possible that your heart's hardened? You just got a hardened heart?
I don't think so. I think the older I get, like the more susceptible I get to that kind of stuff.
Is that a name of a song? Because if it isn't, it should be. You know what I mean?
What, hardened heart?
Hardened heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. It was really entertaining, but it wasn't like I don't know, like Toy Story, you can watch that as like a timeless one in a way. For me
Mm-hmm.
personally, yeah, the Mario movie, I'm not so sure you could do that. But I kind of thought to myself, who over at Nintendo making this film went, we're going to get Chris Pratt to do his voice. Be like, all right, can he do a really good Mario impression? They'd be like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, how did that conversation go? Same as when everyone first saw Sonic in that last movie. Do you remember before they remade him? Fucking hell. Like, how many people sit there and go, yeah, it's fine. That'd be fine. I don't know.
It's star power. They just want to put, let's get this guy and this guy and this guy and let's put them in there, and they with no respect to accent at all, right?
Yeah.
Well, but you think about it, like Mario's voice. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Charles Martinet, and he's actually a really talented voice actor. If you hear his voice in other stuff, you would be surprised. You're like, whoa, that's the same guy that does Mario. Damn. Okay. But he made this voice around like the limitations of the games back in the Nintendo 64 days. So like he didn't speak full sentences, he had like quick little phrases and like woohoo, ha, woo, boo, ha, like all these like quick little sounds and shit. I'm not sure I wanted to hear 90 minutes of Charles Martinet's Mario, like it's very, very over the top, and it's very like I don't know, like cartoony, stereotypical of an Italian accent, whereas Chris Pratt's performance, in my opinion, is more natural. It's easier to listen to. It's more believable in terms of like a character with character development. And I wasn't mad at it. And also Charles Martinet is in it.
He is, yeah, in the calf, isn't he, at the beginning?
He is in the cast.
Yeah. No, what shop is it? Is it the pizza place?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to spoil anything.
Yeah. No, nor am I.
In the movie.
Yeah,
I got to tell you,
I know there's a cast now. Oh my god!
I think Illumination, anything I've ever seen by them, has been around a 7, right? And I feel like they're sticking on that, right? About a 7. If Nintendo had partnered with Pixar to make this, I think it would be crazy, unbelievably good.
Someone said about Jack Black. Jack Black was wicked as Bowser.
Oh, he's the best part, hands down, the best part of that movie. I think
that song is fantastic.
Yeah,
Jack Black is like such a unique brand and such a recognizable vibe that like it every moment where like you could tell Jack Black took a couple of liberties with the character was really, really obvious to me. I'm like, well, there's Jack Black right there, and I'm not going to refer to anything specific, but I definitely like heard and saw Jack Black through that character multiple times, which to me was honestly a little immersion breaking. It was like I'm trying to see Bowser. Like,
actually,
I think he did a good job, but it was still injected with a little more Jack Black than I would have personally preferred. And I love Jack Black. I love Tenacious D. Like, I'm a huge fan. I've seen Tenacious D live, like I support everything he does. But, to be honest, my favorite character was Luigi. I think he was the best.
Yeah, he was my daughter's favorite character, is Luigi, and ever since the movie, she now plays as Luigi in Mario Kart.
Nice.
And we needed to get Luigi's Mansion, and her TikTok is all Luigi now. It's fucking weird.
That's what Nintendo wanted all along.
Yeah, it's not about Mario anymore.
What a win, Luigi's Mansion. She just won big time. That's an awesome game.
It is a good game. Yeah, I watched some of it. It's quite good. I remember playing the original on GameCube, but that's the last one I ever played. I haven't played any of the others. Someone has dropped a spoiler in the chat. They said
I'm not looking.
Yeah, they didn't like it when Mario died at the end.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he choked to death on that mushroom. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. But
Dun, 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 dun.
guys, I think we should end the show on who could do the best Mario impression.
That's not me.
You gotta
go
say
first.
You gotta say, "Let's go."
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
That was
thank you.
pretty good.
Thank you.
That was nobody can beat that.
Mash,
Hey, everybody.
you can do it.
You win.
Good
I
night,
see ya,
everybody.
Mario.
Let's see who can do the best Bill Cosby impression.
Oh,
And just pull the plug on this shit.
Yeah, I know. Hit that button.
See you later, guys. Thank you ever so much for